Hello students, welcome back. Today we are going to start with the third chapter of civics, that is what is government. First of all, I want to clear the meaning of the word government. So if we cut this word in two parts, that is govern and ment. So governing is nothing but it is organizing, it is scheduling, and it is implementing some of the rules and regulations which have been put into the constitutions. Some of the rules which we follow even today, some of the regulations which we have to follow so that there will be a smooth functioning everywhere. Okay. For example, in our school, if we see, we have a government in place that works for the entire school, for you. Okay, for example, your safety regarding transport, your safety regarding food, your safety regarding education, to get a good education, to get appropriate education, to get a good assistance regarding education is very important. To take care of your health, etc., is the main role or the main law which is being implemented in the school. Okay, so regarding sports also, there are many things which takes place, and that care is being taken totally by the school. Okay, so in our country also, India, we need government, and each and every country has its own government. Now this government, what they do is they take decisions, okay, and they get things done. This can be decisions about where to build roads or schools, or how to reduce the price of vegetables when they get too expensive, or ways to increase the supply of electricity. For example, in our house, if we have water, if we have vegetable, if we have electricity, etc., so this all runs based on the government. Okay, if there is any vegetable vendor who hikes the price, okay, or increases the price of the vegetable, then it is upon the government to look after each and everyone, and there should be an equal level of price for all the vegetables which are being provided into the market, so that none of the citizen will pay extra for any sort of vegetable, and he should not fall short of money. Okay, so that is also there. Supply of electricity is also very important. Okay, electricity has to be provided because we have many such appliances, and our daily routine totally works on the electricity, so that care is also been taken by the government. The government also takes action on many social issues. For example, the government has several programs to help the poor people. Okay, not only rich people, not only the middle class people, but also the poor people who are there. So taking care of these people is very important, because they live into the territory of India, inside the boundary of India. Okay, they are Indians by, we can say, as citizens. Okay, so that is the reason why we have to take care, and for that reason government has several programs for these people. Okay, it government also does some of the important things, such as running the postal services and railway services. For example, students, if you have any postman coming to your area, okay, he must be in the khaki vardi, fine, so he is a government employee, he is a government person. His daily job is to give the posts, and then take the letters, and then dispatch it at proper time and at proper address, etc. He should not make any sort of mistake in sending or delivering that particular post or that particular courier which he is having. Okay, and tomorrow if you sit into a railway, okay, then this particular service is also been looked by the government. Okay, maintenance of the railways, scheduling of the railways, proper management of the railway system, etc., is the total job of the government which is being given. Okay, now the government also has the job of protecting the boundaries of the country and maintaining peaceful relations with other countries also. For example, here I want to give a beautiful example of our Indian Army, Navy, and Air Force. These three services which we have totally belongs to the India. okay, to our government. Now these people are here protecting the boundaries. The army is protecting the boundary of India, the territory of India. The navy is protecting the sea boundary of India, and the air force is protecting the air boundaries of India, so that there will be no other countries, outside countries or neighboring countries, who will be attacking on us, and if they attack, then we can reply them back. So for that reason, always remember, if we pay tax, then this tax in terms of salary is being submitted to all these services and the government employees. Okay. The government also ensures that the citizens should have enough to eat and have good health facility. For example, if we see this COVID-19 situation now, okay, somewhere we were in lockdown, we were not able to move out of our house. But the thing is, government has ensured that the vegetables or the food material has to reach to each and every person, each and every house in a very proper way. And for that reason, what they had did is they had totally managed each and everything. They had scheduled each and everything in a very proper way, so that the food can reach our house and no one will starve, no one will be hungry, etc. Later, they also had some good medical facilities. Like now, as we see CPR hospital, we have Savitribai Phule hospital, we have isolation hospital. Some of the hospitals they had installed. Some of the hospitals they had installed many beds for the COVID-19 patient, okay, as a quarantine center. But when these hospitals were totally full with all these patients, then they decided that we will occupy some of the places like universities, some of the schools, or some of the places somewhere, some of the grounds or the auditoriums or the houses were also being made as a quarantine centers, and hotels were also there. So these were some of the orders given by the government for the good health facility which has been provided during this pandemic. After that, looking after the natural disaster like tsunami or earthquake, it is the government that mainly organizes the aid and assistance for the affected people. We had now the cyclone in the Arabian Sea. So, giving an alert to the people who are living into that particular area, for example, Konkan area, Alibag area, Mumbai area, etc., and to look after the situation of that particular cyclone and giving the alert to the news channels, so that all the news channels will give a proper alert and news about the movement of that cyclone, making people totally aware about the disaster and moving them from that particular place, so that there will be no loss of any life. Okay, that care was being taken by the government. And during this natural disasters, tsunamis, earthquake, etc., the government, yes, it mainly organizes the people and it helps the people. Okay, also, apart from this, if there is any dispute in people or in someone, okay, or if someone has committed a crime, then to find the people and to take them into the court is also the duty of the government. For example, we have police, okay, services. So for that reason, if anyone is committing a crime, then to catch that particular person and take him to the court is the duty of the government itself. So here I want to clear one thing is very important, that is, courts are also the part of government. Okay, so we have civil court, we have high court, we have Supreme Court. So all these courts, we have criminal court also. So all these courts are the part of government. We can see some of the judges sitting in the court. We can see some of the lawyers who are there. These all are the part of government. Okay, now the part is, okay, we must be wondering how government manages to do all these things. Okay, and why is it necessary for them to do so? Okay, when human beings live and work together, there need to be some amount of organization that takes the decision and can be made. Okay, now for example, in previous time when people used to come together and they used to stay together, so there were no rules and regulation in past history. But later, we came to know that so the people, those who were living in one particular society or in an area or in village, they had some dispute or they had some mismanagement into the work. Okay, so for that reason, later some people thought, ki, chalo, now what we will do is we will start making some of the rules and regulations, and that has to be followed by the people. And slowly and steadily, these small rules were converted into at a bigger level, and this bigger level rules and regulations were later converted into laws. Okay, now there is a difference between rule and law. Okay, now what are rules? Rules are nothing but they are part of law, but the thing is that rules at some level can be broken. Okay, people have that tendency to break the rule. For example, during lockdown period, when it was strictly been told by the government that you should not come out of the house, and you should not move because it is very critical, etc. But here people did not listen to them, and that is the reason why that police were bound to some of the laws, for people who were breaking the rules and regulations. So they came out with the sticks and started beating them. Okay, so they should not break the rules and laws, etc. And law is nothing but it is a fixed criteria. You cannot break a law. There are punishments for law. Okay, for rules also there are punishments, but not at that particular level. But for law, 100% there is a punishment for each and every law. Okay, so even if you are sitting in the classroom, even if you are in the school, etc., for that reason the law is working for you compulsory. Okay, um, some of the rules have been made to so that it can be applied for everyone. Okay, and each and everyone has to follow. So for example, if we have resources with us, okay, resources in sense, we have certain minerals, we have food, we have light, we have different resources for our use. So controlling these resources is very important. We as a human being is also a resource. You as a student is also a resource. A child which is born is also a resource for the future India. Okay, so taking care of that particular child, even if he is born or he is not born, but still taking care of it as a resource is very important for the government. Okay, and as we have said ki, protecting the territory of the country so that people can feel very secure is also a part of government. Fine. Now, for this reason, what government does is it appoints, okay, and it exercises leadership. For example, government is run by the people, and for if there are people, there are group of people, so there should be a leader. For example, we have many states, we have many villages, we have many cities, we have many districts, we have many, we can say talukas, etc. But the thing is, for all this level management by the government, it requires a leader who can take appropriate decisions, and a leader who can maintain and enforces this particular rules and regulations very properly, so that other people can follow these particular rules and regulations very properly. For example, if we have a football team, so without a captain, a football team does not work. Okay, captain is very important, but he should be very experienced and he should be a good player. Okay, we cannot appoint any person as a captain, and we should not tell that he is our captain and without any experience we are making him a captain. Okay, then the team would not win. Okay, so this is one example how leaders are being exercised into the government for taking decisions and implementing this amongst all the people living in the territory. Now implementing is when we make a law, the law should not be only with the government. The government has to send that law in the term so that people can follow it. Okay, for example, traffic rule, only making traffic rule on paper is not important. People should follow it. Whenever there is green signal, people should move. Whenever there is red signal, people should stop, etc. Only telling people is not important. It is implementing that particular rules and regulations is very, very much important. Okay, now this was about government. This was all about what government does. Okay, but how do they do it? How do they manage? Because we India, in India we have population of approximately 130 crores, and to manage this particular population, so huge population, approximately I have seen one message on WhatsApp saying that almost 4 to 5 countries or more than that countries population totally belongs to India. For example, we have Spain, we have Italy, we have UK, we have US, etc. So if we combine all these countries population together, and we calculate the population of India, so that is totally equal. So our one country is totally equal to so many so much population of different countries. So that is one very huge amount of number of people, we can say, that we have into our country. Now the question is, how does the government manages, and how do they maintain this particular government for the peaceful and smooth functioning of the country? Okay, so for that reason we have here, okay, now, okay, here it is written, government is the institution through which a society makes and enforces its public policies. Okay, the same things what we have done. Government is an institution, like how school is our institution, it is an organization. In the same way, government is also an institution through which a society makes and enforces its public policies. Policies is nothing but again rules and regulations and laws. These are fixed, these cannot be changed. These are written in the book, that is constitution. And yes, amendments can be done, but changes at maximum level cannot be done. Okay, and has to be followed very strictly, that is a rule. Now here you can see levels of government. Okay, so at the top level we have union government, that is the central government, that is Delhi. Okay, so we have all president, the prime minister, other ministers who are there into the union government. Below that we have state government. So state government is nothing but all the chief ministers which are there into the different states, and they govern this particular body. A specific state is been given to them, and they perform and they work. Okay, then comes local government. Local government is nothing but we have the MLAs, we have the MPs, etc., and we have the corporators, that is we have nagar sevaks of different areas, etc. So for that reason we work, that is district level or taluka level. Below that we have two parts in local government, that is panchayat and nagar palika. Now panchayat has sub parts into it. It is district panchayat, it is intermediate panchayat, and it is village panchayat. Nagar Palika is having municipal corporation. We have Kolhapur Municipal Corporation here in our Kolhapur, which manages all the work, picking up the garbage, sweeping the roads, etc. Then sanitization of all the areas, etc. is done by the municipal corporation. Then we have municipal council, and below that we have Nagar Panchayat. Now regarding Panchayat students, we have one chapter in civics that we will be learning, so I'm not going much deep into this particular topic. Mahanagarpalika, yes, we know the work of Mahanagarpalika. Okay, so if there are any complaints about Mahanagarpalika work, then you can forward it to the corporator of your area. The corporator will further go into municipal corporation. He will have meeting with the mayor, etc., and the commissioner of municipal corporation, and then they will see how it can be implemented, okay, properly. So these are the levels of government. So each and every level of government is working. Now if I relate this particular level of government with our school, so I just want to say that we have the director, we have the executive director, then we have principal, then we have vice principal, and then we have coordinators, then we have class teachers, and at the end we have the class monitors. Okay, so at the top level we have the director of the school. Then we have executive director who are taking major decisions of the school. After that, implementing and following this particular decisions is done by the principal, the vice principal, etc. And then we have coordinators who are coordinating, who are solving our problems at a basic level. If the problem is really big, then they forward this particular issues to the principal, the director, etc. And then at that level also we are able to solve the problem. Okay, now this was about government and the initial level of the government, that is the initial explanation of levels of government. In the next session we are going to go much deeper into this particular topic. So if you see on page number 28, there is example of Supreme Court, there is example of Bharat Petroleum, there is example of railway, and on page number 29 we have example of national level of government, that is Delhi. We have state level of government, that is all the states, and after that we have district level of government on page number 30. Okay, so these are the examples which are been given to us so that we will come to know about which are the types of government, or which are the main organizations of government, and which types of government are present in our country. Okay, so this was about the initial study of government. So next session we are going to go much deep into that. So I am ending this first session and hope you read your chapter for the first session till page number 30. If possible, you can solve one activity, that is exercise on page number 30, which is being given to you. This is a good example. We will be clearing this particular activity in the session, that is live session also, but initial level, as per your understanding, kindly it's a request to solve this particular activity and we'll discuss it. Okay, so I'm ending this particular session now, and we'll see you in the next session. Thank you for listening. Thanks a lot.